What's up, guys? Hey, Glendale, Triple Crown, and there's a lot on the line in Arizona. Jett, he's never been good at Triple Crowns. What can he do? Eli and Ken Roxon, that's their specialty. And we get to see Juju versus Deegan 3 times. I just love watching racing and seeing these dudes out there. And I know we can't do the whole season with Triple Crowns, and I'm not the biggest fan of Triple Crowns, but once in a while, I do enjoy them. We had big news in the Lucas Mirtl versus the Lawrences development. I'm going to touch on that, but I'm having Lucas on later, and I'm just going to let him explain it. Thank you to everybody who has sent in your address for the Nano Extreme samples. All I ask is that you hit my email, chriscookseymedia@gmail.com, and please just put your address in a concise fashion. What I'm doing is cut and pasting those to get those over so we can get them shipped out to you. So please don't hide it inside a paragraph. I would love to chat with you guys. And if you want to send me a separate email to chat, go for it. But please, for the address, just send one so I can copy and paste it. Thank you guys. And I'm telling you, don't take my word at how good this stuff is. Just give me your address and try it yourself. Head over to Nano Extreme if you don't want to wait. Use code Cooksey for free shipping. If you guys haven't gone over to the Coach Rob Podcast Network, I strongly recommend it. He has got some of the best content over there dedicated to vet riders, amateur racing, and now he's got guys that are after their career talking about what's next and how to deal with life after motocross. And he's also got some industry people. Check out the Coach Rob Podcast Network.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So here it is, round 4 and the first Triple Crown of the season. There is a lot on the line in Glendale. Jett Lawrence has typically not been very good at Triple Crowns. That has been his last, that's his last kryptonite. Everything else this kid has done, he's an alien, but he has struggled at Triple Crowns. I think he's won 1 or 2, and he's had some good heats or motos, but he hasn't really been, if there's been one weakness, it's Triple Crowns. If Jett can win the Triple Crown, that's the last kind of weakness in his game. If he gets past that, I'm telling you what, Eli, Kenny, Chase, Webb, they are all going to be in for it. It is going to be a long season, and he might go on a run. He might rip off 5, 6, 7 in a row. That's how good Jett Lawrence is. But if they can get over on him this weekend, it still casts a doubt into, that there is still a weakness. There's 2 more Triple Crowns. It's something left that they have. But if Jett goes out and dominates this thing, oh boy, it could get boring really fast. But we know Eli is extremely good at Triple Crowns and extremely good in Glendale. Same with Ken Roxon. Really good at Triple Crowns, and he won Glendale last year. Both these guys have rode exceptional. Now, I don't think, however you spin it, I just don't see Kenny being there for the entire series. It's awesome that he has a red plate. If you had to ask me to bet on who's going to win the championship, he's down there there's about 4 guys I would still take ahead of Kenny, even though he has the point lead. Eli, on the other hand, no, he's very much in this title fight, but he has to stop Jake. The one thing Eli can't do, lose points at the events where he kind of has that advantage. This is his place. Glendale's good. Triple Crown, good. If he loses points to Jett at almost like his home turf, that will be a hard one to overcome. Because there's going to be nights when Jett is so good, nobody's going to beat him. They have to capitalize on the nights when he's not. And I think this is going to be one of those nights where they're going to have to get over on him. Even if Eli doesn't win, he has to finish ahead of Jett. And Chase Sexton had a really tough go at Anaheim too. I guess he was dealing with the same illness that a lot of the guys are getting, and he ran out of steam. He better hope, I sure hope he's recovered from that, because if he has another round off the podium, he's going to be looking outside. It's going to get really difficult to kind of still keep sight of that championship battle. It's time for these. Like I said, these guys cannot let Jett keep going. He won last week. If he wins again, they're in trouble. If these guys want to maintain their championship hopes, and for a guy like Chase Sexton, if he does anything but win the championship, it is a loss. And then you got Cooper Webb. Man, this guy always finds a way to be in the mix. And with 3 main events, even though Glendale, he's not been strong at Glendale, I look for Cooper Webb to be lurking and taking advantage of mistakes. He's got to come out of here with some points. He wants to be in this championship battle, but when they go east, you can only lose so many points. With a guy like Jett up front, you cannot let him get away. Nobody in this field has the speed to go on a run and win 5 in a row but Jett Lawrence or maybe Eli Tomac. These other guys, they have to take advantage of mistakes, and they haven't done it so far this year. Check out Ride Strap, best goggle company, glasses, t-shirts, just an awesome company. We're doing the Cooksey Cookout in Daytona, so we'll have signups here pretty soon for that, but check out ridestrap.com. Precision Transport, the best shipping company in the business. They believe in customer service, reasonable pricing. Hit up pretransport.com. Motobilia. This is the new company dedicated to motocross memorabilia and getting it legitimized. They make sure if you buy a bike or something from them, it is authenticated. So don't deal with some of these shady memorabilia. A lot of people get their money stolen by buying fake bikes, not with Motobilia. So check them out, motobilia.com. I am extra excited about the 250 class. We get 3 rounds in one night of Hayden Deegan versus Julian Beaumer. These two get to go 3 rounds of a grudge match on Saturday night, and there's a lot on the line. Even if Hayden wins and Julian's second, Julian will still have the red plate, but it's that momentum. If Julian loses that momentum in Glendale, it is going to be hard to get back because Deegan's going to get better and better, and he believes he can win, and he believes he should have dominated the whole year. So this weekend, there's a lot of pressure on Julian Beaumer. This is his home race. He's from Lake Havasu. It's not far from there. He's going to have a ton of friends and family, and a lot of people think that's a good thing. It can be, but it can also be a distraction. It's hard when you have all these people out there and your time is monopolized just a bit. I hope he can manage that because he really needs to win if he wants to establish himself as a true rival to Hayden Deegan and not one of these guys that he's just laid to waste and moved on. And we get 3 races with the Jordan Smith experience. Yes, this dude's going to be fun to watch. He will send it. He will go for it. He will do something exciting. All I can say is I just wish, when are we going to get the Jordan Smith cam? Good chance he's on the podium. Good chance he wins a main, but I don't see him holding it together for all 3. But you never know. Jordan Smith has been in a championship battle pretty much almost every single year he's been a 250 rider, and that's been a long time. And I don't think this year will be any different. I think he's going to get enough good results to have a mathematical opportunity to win this title up until the very end. We've got the return of Garrett Marchbanks, one of my favorite guys. He's coming off that shoulder injury. And while you'd think, coming off an injury, not a lot of pressure, there is. That Mitch Payton team has a lot of pressure. You don't go out there. There's no excuses. You either go out there and perform or you don't. And that's just the way Mitch looks at it. Is it fair? No. But if Garrett goes out there and gets handled by Drew Adams, that's not a good look. So while he can go out there and, are there expectations to win? Probably not. But if he gets handled by Drew, it's going to be uncomfortable back at the truck. And that's not an easy task because Drew Adams is fast, he's young, he's hungry, he doesn't know what he doesn't know. Like I said, he could hole shot and get on the podium in one of these races. He's that good. Cole Davies, much the same way. Rookie, playing on house money. It doesn't matter. He's going to go out there, ride loose. And like I said, if either of these rookies gets a hole shot in one of these short main events, good chance they just empty the tank and go for the win. I don't know if they'll be there all night, but don't be surprised if one of these guys empties the tank and gets one of those moto wins. Man, if you're not watching the Club MX YouTube channel, I think it's the very best documentary show on YouTube with following the teams. I love the way they do things. Brandon coaches riders and teaches them and brings out the best of them. They don't just say, either win or you're fired. They really do cultivate talent at Club MX, and I'm sorry, I just love that, and it's rare in the sport. Cody Schock, he won a heat race last week, and he is fast enough and confident enough. He's going to be in the mix with 3 starts, and he's a fast starter. Watch for Cody Schock to be right there all night long. And his teammate, Jett Reynolds. I really have a soft spot in my heart for this kid. I don't know why. I don't know him personally, but I just see him, and I see his body language when he comes in. He looks to me like a guy who's incredibly hard on himself. I feel like if he just lightened up on himself, he'd have more confidence. I feel like he kills his own confidence and is so down on himself. I even text Mike Me from Club MX. I'm like, man, can you tell him not to be so down on himself? Because that when you start being that down on yourself, you make yourself slower. You make those things happen. If you focus on all bad and all negativity on the track or what's out there, of course you have to recognize your mistakes and improve on them. But if you focus over and over on them, you keep making them. You got to focus on that positive, and that positive breeds positive, and the negative breeds negative. And I think he's stuck trying to improve, but he can't get out of his own way. if he could get a start, I feel like Jett is this kid who had so much talent. He was one of the best amateurs ever. And that didn't go anywhere. He's still that talented. My question is, at what point, he's very capable of having a moment where he just flips a switch and realizes he is one of those guys and starts riding that way. It very well could happen. And I don't know, man. I think if he stops beating himself up, we might see it. Thank you, members. I'm going to be doing a drawing. I'm working on times trying to get Lucas Mirtl on here, so I don't know if I'm going to do it today. I might do, you know what? Scratch it. I'm going to do the drawing on the instant reaction show tomorrow night after the race on February 1st. We're going to draw for the January giveaways. I'm giving away the set of gear and the Nano Extreme on the live instant reaction show.